Whether you're 25 or 65, money's rules are basically the same. Money doesn't change the rules of life, it just makes them easier to follow. The following 10 money rules will help you make more of what matters most in your life: time, relationships, and experiences, while protecting you from what shouldn't matter as much: debt, materialism, and overspending. By incorporating these 10 simple yet powerful money rules in your life, you'll achieve financial success without being consumed by it. Rule number 10. Learn the money game. Know where your money is going before it goes there. It sounds simple, but most people don't have a good grasp on where their money goes. By using personal finance software or spreadsheet, you can plug in your bank account activity and figure out how much you're spending each month on things like bills, food, and shopping. The goal is to know as much as possible about your monthly finances so that you can make informed financial decisions, like paying off debt or saving more of your income. Start by tracking your expenses for 1 month, then move on to 2 months, then 3 months, and keep increasing until you're able to track every penny. It might seem tedious at first, but you'll get better at estimating what categories your money falls into over time. And once you see where all your hard-earned cash is going, it'll be easier to cut back when necessary or increase savings goals. Rule number 9. Avoid depreciating assets. Owning a car is one of those depreciating assets that cost more than its purchase price over time. The money you spend on gas and parking is money down a hole in the sense that once it's spent, it's gone forever. If you're trying to save for retirement or another big financial goal and are using your car as transportation around town, consider cutting back on driving or paying for your commute with public transportation instead of cash. Buying something that appreciates in value like an investment property or business is better than spending your money on depreciating assets like cars. Appreciating assets means you're actually building wealth instead of watching it dwindle away year after year, which makes it easier to reach long-term goals like early retirement. In other words, even if there's no way to get rich quickly, by investing wisely now, you can put yourself on track for riches later. Rule number 8. Make your money work for you. Another important money rule is to make your money work for you. In other words, before you spend a dime of your hard-earned cash, you should make sure that it will grow by having a plan for how it will work for you. This means taking full advantage of tax-advantaged retirement accounts like 401ks or IRAs if you have them available to you. It also means finding ways to save on taxes, such as through health savings accounts or charitable giving. And finally, it means making smart investments in things like real estate or stocks. And yes, there are still good stocks out there. Make your money work for you so that it can provide income during retirement and help pass on wealth to future generations. You'll sleep better at night knowing that your money is being managed well. Rule number 7. Don't spend to impress others. It sounds simple, but it takes a lot of practice. Much of our money is spent on other people. Whether we buy them drinks at a bar or gifts for birthdays and holidays, much of our money goes to impressing others and doing what we think they want us to do. But it isn't always about them. It's also about you. As cliche as it sounds, if you like what you spend your money on, then you'll be happier in life with that purchase than without it. If not, save yourself some time and heartache by just buying what you like from the start. When else do you get to put yourself first? What are your friends gonna say when you go out drinking without them? Who cares? This rule applies to most things in life. Your job, relationships, and hobbies. You name it. There's nothing wrong with spending money on things you enjoy. In fact, there's something very right about it. Rule number 6. Avoid debt. Always avoid debt when possible. If you cannot avoid a loan, make sure to seek out a low interest rate and high payback period. If it is not necessary to take on debt, don't do it. There are plenty of ways to fund your business without turning into loans or credit cards. Avoiding consumer debt will reduce your stress levels and leave you better be able to focus on making money in other ways. Remember that debt is only good if you can control it. Debt makes things more complicated, as well as less predictable. You might think that getting a mortgage would be a good idea because you could then buy a house. But consider how much time and energy goes into paying off that mortgage every month. And consider whether it would be better to save up for 2 years and buy with cash instead. The same logic applies to all forms of debt. Stay away from them unless they are absolutely necessary. Rule number 5. Balance risk. It can be tempting to chase big returns when you're saving for retirement, but be wary. When investing a large sum into a single stock or mutual fund, don't invest more than you can lose, and don't be afraid to spread your money around several different areas. If one fund loses money, it's unlikely all of them will. If you keep tabs on your investments and make sure they're invested in companies that you understand and have a reason to trust, they'll help support your financial goals while minimizing risk. Just remember that investing is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You won't become rich overnight, but over time, with patience and discipline, you could watch your net worth grow. Rule number 4. Set goals. Before you can start saving for retirement, a vacation, or a new car, you need to know where you're going and how much you need to get there. Setting financial goals will help keep your money on track and ensure that your efforts are leading towards something. The most common types of financial goals include paying off debt, buying a home, setting aside funds for college or retirement, and building an emergency fund. Regardless of what your goal is, it helps to have a clearly defined plan that outlines how much money you'll need and when you'll need it. Once you've set up some initial goals, look at ways to expand them. If you want to buy a house in 5 years, for example, consider whether you'd like to do so sooner than later, and whether your savings would allow for that. From there, adjust accordingly until all of your goals fit into a cohesive plan with clear end dates and specific dollar amounts attached. It might take some time before those numbers line up perfectly with reality, but having a game plan from day one should help make sure they eventually do. Rule number 3. Stay organized. The first step to becoming financially organized is figuring out where all your money is going and where it's coming from. Whether you're sitting down with a financial advisor or doing things yourself, start making a list of every financial account you have, from checking accounts to savings accounts and investments funds. Next, make note of every bill that you have to pay each month. If any services are paid automatically out of your bank account, like an insurance premium, include those as well. Then add up how much you spend on groceries each month, gas for your car, clothes, and other expenses. This gives you a good idea of how much money is coming in and going out each month. Then, figure out what percentage of your monthly income goes toward housing costs, like your mortgage or rent, transportation costs like gasoline and public transportation, and food costs. With these numbers in hand, you can get started on creating a budget that will help keep you on track towards reaching your financial goals. Rule number 2. Have the right mentality. No matter how much money you make, being frugal will always save you more in the long run. The most successful people don't focus on how to earn more. They focus on how to spend less. If your focus is earning more, your dollars will fly out of your wallet faster than you can earn them back in. Instead, practice gratitude for what you have, and know it could be much worse. Rather than resenting or taking things for granted, remind yourself how fortunate you are, and remain mindful that there are others who have little to nothing. A positive perspective and outlook will help keep a tight rein on your spending habits. And rule number 1, always pay yourself first. Use a 401k or other tax-advantaged savings account to save money for retirement. It may not seem like much when you start, but small contributions can add up over time. And once your savings are in motion, you'll want to make sure it keeps going by setting an automated schedule to transfer funds from your checking account into your retirement accounts. This simple trick is one of many that can help people get better at saving and increase their net worth as a result. Remember that paying yourself first isn't just about retirement. You should also be contributing to emergency savings and putting your money aside for short-term goals like a vacation or home improvement project. When it comes to your finances, don't leave anything to chance. Make a plan and stick with it. Money is powerful, and if you don't know what you're doing, it can quickly take control of your life. Even worse, not having enough money or not being able to retire comfortably can be stressful for you and your family. To avoid these worst-case scenarios, learn about money's 10 golden rules. Doing so will help keep you from making costly mistakes and pave a path toward financial freedom. Remember, it's never too late to start investing or make changes that could better prepare you for retirement. The most important thing you can do is learn more about money and invest in yourself. Knowledge really is power, and no one knows everything there is to know about managing finances. So pick up a book on personal finance, attend some seminars, or ask questions online. Learning more now may just save you thousands down the road. Well, that's it for today's video. Please share your opinion about these 10 golden rules about money in the comment section. We'd love to hear them. And as always guys, don't forget to subscribe and give us a huge thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next one. See you.